Hi everyone, Nancy here. It is March 25, 2021, and it is 6:30 at nighttime, and there's still a lot of light outside. Thank you, God. Hey guys, I was just wondering, I wanted to know, like, if there's anything that, I forget what I was gonna say. Like, is there, like, there was, what was it? What funny, okay. Now I remember. Thank you, Father. You see, a long time ago, guys, I think, when I was 18, I taught myself something, right? And I wanted to know, what thing did you teach yourself that you didn't know how to do before that was hard to learn? Like, for example, when I was around 18 or 17, I taught myself how to write backwards, and I forget. I should have had like a piece of paper to show you guys. Um, yeah, I guess I'll do that in my next video. I will most likely show you how I learned, not how I learned, but show you, that I can write, right? Because I mean, I can tell you anything, and may not be true. So I will show you, that I can write backwards. And if some of you are wondering, why did you teach yourself how to write backwards? There was no particular reason for it. I just wanted to do it. And so now I know how to write backwards. And one time I wrote my friend a long letter backwards. So she had to go to the mirror and stand in front of the mirror and face the letters, the sheets of paper, in front of the mirror in order for her to read everything that I said. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, so if you guys have learned, if you guys have taught yourself something that was very difficult, something that you did not know how to do before, but that you taught yourself how to do, that most people don't know how to do, then let me know. Or maybe some people do know, but maybe not many people know how to do this thing that you taught yourself. Okay, so I would like to know what that is, because I think it's very interesting to find out about the different talents that people have. Yeah, just wondering. So what is it that you know how to do? That's really interesting. Wow, this video is going to be really short is very short, because so far, let me see how many minutes. Okay, so it's like 3 minutes and some seconds. I don't know what else to say, because that's pretty much the reason for this video. I just wanted to know what you guys know how to do. Maybe you taught yourself a language that not many of your friends or your family know how to speak. I met a lady almost 5 years ago. This elderly lady, she knew how to speak 12 languages fluently, except for my language, Spanish. And I asked her, where did you learn how to speak all those languages? And she said, oh, I've been all over the world working. I've worked in many parts of the world, so I know how to speak 12 languages. Yeah. And then one time I met a taxi driver when I was doing the grocery shopping one day, and and we were, he was driving me home, and we were chatting, and then he told me that he speaks 7 languages, and I think he was from Somalia. But guys, people from certain parts of Africa, they know how to speak many languages. Yeah, they don't just speak one. They know how to speak many languages. A lot of them. Yeah. And some of them, they can speak Dutch, because they travel, they go to that part of the world, and they go to school, and then they come back home, and they know how to speak Dutch. And yeah, but the lady, she was the first person that I had met up until that time who could speak that many languages. She's the only person that I've met so far who can speak the most amount of languages that I've met. Yeah, and yeah, I have met several people in my life who speak up to 7 languages. Yeah, some 3, some of them speak 5 languages. Here comes that plane again. Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody can do something weird with their body, then let me know. Some people are, I don't know, they have extreme flexibility where they can, I don't know, contort their bodies in a weird way. Maybe you can write that down in the description, in the comment section, and tell us what that's all about, how you can do that. Yeah. Guys, let me tell you something very interesting. So my mother, okay, she had 3 children, right? And my mother, she explained to me that her uterus is inverted, which means it's pointing upside down. Like, for example, the part where the baby comes out, the entry, the exit, right, is pointing upwards. But whenever she had a baby, her uterus, it would flip itself downwards in order to allow the baby to come out. Right? And every doctor she's ever known that here in Canada, because we're from Ecuador, so every doctor she's ever had here in Canada, they would, she would tell them, and they, with examinations, they would find out, yeah, that is indeed how her uterus is, because the x-rays would show that her uterus has flipped, it's inverted. And they're like, oh, look at that. And my mother said, yep, that's how it is. And they said, like, oh, okay. It's not very common, right? It's not very common. I'm sure doctors know, but it's just not a very common thing. And so people would ask my mother, but when you're gonna have the baby, what would happen? And she said, well, it would just flip itself. It would flip itself into position, and the babies would come out. And they're like, yeah. She's like, yeah. And then when the baby would come out, then she'd say, well, my uterus would go back up again. Yeah, and the doctors, all the doctors, like, they examined her, and they're like, well, this is a very odd thing, but it's not a dangerous situation. That your uterus is in perfect condition. There's nothing going on in there. There's nothing, no tearing, there was no danger in how her uterus was behaving, is what they explained to her. And they said that it's very strange, it's very uncommon, but there's no danger in this condition. Yeah, so that's very funny. Yeah, guys, so like yeah, let me know something like that, anything that is strange or well, quote unquote abnormal. Unusual, out of the ordinary, or something that you've taught yourself, or yes. And I don't know yet what title I'm going to call this video, but I guess you will know by the time you're watching this. You already know. Oh, there's that perfume again. I was recording another video, and another video, and a perfume smell came. Maybe there's someone on a balcony. Yeah. Okay, so now the video is like at least 9 minutes and something. Well, it's 9 minutes long. Let me think of something else. Guys, do you want to hear of a really wonderful miracle? When I was in grade 9, there was this girl in my class. I went to an all-girls Catholic school. So when I was in grade 9, there was this girl in my class who had diabetes. No, not diabetes. She was epileptic. How do you say it? Epileptic? Epileptic, right? She was epileptic. And the miracle is, guys, that she, throughout the entire time of all of our high school years, she never once had a seizure. Never. Of course, she was on medication, but thank you, God. that she never had a seizure. Yes. So that was really great. Very wonderful. Yeah. Great miracle. Now I'm trying to think of something else about the unusual things. Guys, have you ever seen people with enormous irises? They're very beautiful. Like the majority of the people on the planet, we have, tiny dots for our irises. But there are some people who have irises that are almost as large as their their pupils is what I want to say. Their pupils are as large as their irises, and they're really pretty. Very, very nice. It's like it like the pupil almost covers the entire iris, but it doesn't. It's really nice. I like it. I met a child like that when I was a kid. I met this girl like that, yeah, when I was going to a recreation center. And she said, look at my eyes. No, did she say that? No, people were checking out her eyes, and then I was looking at her eyes, and I said, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with your eyes? And she said, nothing. They're just like that. I said, really? And she said, yeah. I said, that's normal? And she said, yeah, I was born like that. They're just like that. And I said, oh, I've never seen that before. And all the other kids were like looking at her in amazement, But they were very unusual. Like that's the only time I've ever seen that. I've never seen that before, ever again, ever. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something else. I've seen people who are born with like strands of hair. Like, for example, if they have black hair, they will have a group of hair, like a strand, streaks of hair, like a bunch of streaks of hair, a bunch of hair, like streaks, right? They're streaks of their hair. There will be a section of their hair, streaks of hair, that will be a completely different color. So if the person's hair is black, they can have like bright orange red streaks of hair, a bunch of strands just in one side of their head. Yes, I've seen that. And guys, I've seen this in people when I was like 18. I met these two sisters, and they had streaks of hair, guys, that were different colors. They had blue, they had green, purple. And I had a friend, and I was asking her, I said, what is that? And what they've dyed their hair different colors. And my friend said, no, Nancy, their hair, that's natural. Their hair is natural. I said, natural? She said, yes. They did not dye their hair. Their hair is like that naturally. And I said, wow. It's the first time I have ever seen anything like that. They had bright, they were Asian, dark skin. I think they were Filipino. And their hair was streaks, right? They had, like I said, they had streaks of all over. Primarily their hair was black, but they had bright streaks of purple and blue and green and orange. It was very interesting. I've never seen that in my life, ever. Actually, I have one strand on the right side of my head. I think one or two. It comes from my father. I have a strand of hair that is bright brick. It's a brick, very bright brick. But because, my hair is black, it gets hidden with the rest of my hair. So, yeah. Sometimes I forget about it. One girl asked me in school, Nancy, if that streak of hair comes out of your head, will it grow again? And I said, I don't know. But the thing is, yes, it does, because it's like the rest of my hair. Like if I shave my head, it's gonna grow back black. So if I shave that, if I pluck out that red hair, it's gonna grow back red, because of, I guess, the pigment that particular follicle produces. Yeah. What else? I don't know what else, guys. I'm trying to think of something else. It is... Okay, now it is 15 minutes, and I'm very happy because I didn't want to make this video only 2 minutes long. I don't like making videos like that because I like giving my audience videos, you know, of course longer than 2 minutes. Longer videos than short. What else? What else? What else? What else? Guys, one time, now this has nothing to do with the topic, right? But one time I was watching this show. This was in the US, and it was one of those shows where like people go into a body shop and they get their cars painted, and they get designs on them, and they get logos on them, you know, when they go and get their cars designed and like for aesthetics, right? And there was this I don't know what the show was about, what it was about. I don't know. All I know is that I remember seeing a scene where there were these whole bunch of Latino guys, probably Mexican, and they were in the body shop, in this body shop, and they had finished, you know, fancying up their car, doing something, some kind of fancy logos on their car and painting it and everything. And by the time they were done, like the reporter was taking shots of the car, you know, all the way from the back, you know, like from side shots, front shots, the top, you know. And then when the reporter went to the back, when they showed us a shot of the car from the back, I started laughing because in great big letters it said el apestoso in Spanish, right? So in now that el apestoso, that means stenchful one. And I was laughing. I'm like, oh, that is such a you know, a Latino guy thing, you know. Some Latino guys, you know, they like to mess around and just be funny, right? So I said that's so Latino, right? And so that was so funny, and I told my mother and my grandmother, and they were laughing. And my grandmother was like, el apestoso, and she was you know, she was laughing and everything. And my mother was laughing. But guys, apestoso, that is a very, very strong it's a very strong description for something that has a stench that is so unbearable that you want to throw up, you want to run away. Okay, so I don't understand. Well, I do understand why they would choose that word. They're just trying to be funny. But still, guys, that's a really powerful, it has a very strong meaning in Spanish. Some words translate a lot worse in a language than it does in another language, you know. So, but I thought that was funny. So if you see it's someone in the US, I don't know, maybe you guys have seen that car. I believe it was a black and white car, and it was one of those box cars, you know, like it was a really, what you would call a boat, a big huge car, and it was very rectangular. The back part was long and rectangular. The whole car was long and rectangular. So it had a good space for a statement like that to be placed on the back. It had enough space. El apestoso, you know. Now, apestoso in Spanish, a lot of the words are gender specific, right? So apestoso means stenchful guy, right? Because with an O, if in this case, if the word ends with an O, it's for male. But if they were if they were to put la pestosa, it would mean stenchful girl or stenchful lady, whatever. It doesn't matter, like the age. It's gender specific. So if you put an A at the end, la pestosa, Okay, it's for a female. El apestoso, for a guy. That is so funny. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Um, so guys, are there any funny things that you guys have seen? I don't know. Let me see. Let me know. One time, when I was in what grade was I in? Five, grade 5 or 7 maybe. There was a girl in my class. I think I was in grade 7. There was a girl in my class. She was Latina also, but I forget where she was from. And my friend, she said, Nancy, one time my family and I were driving along the highway. I think they were going to a family trip or something. And she said, we were on the highway and then we passed by this car and we saw a pair of feet sticking out of the window. So we started laughing and I thought that was funny. There's that plane again, guys, with the banner. Yeah. Oh, it's getting dark, eh? Getting dark outside. Well, that's okay. There's still a lot of bright light. Let me see. It is now 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. Son las 6 con... Let me see. 50 minutos. Son las 6 con 50 minutos. Son las 6 de la tarde. No, las 6 de la tarde con 50 minutos. It is 6 o'clock at nighttime and 50 minutes. 6:50 is what I wanted to say. I was just saying it word for word. Yeah, 6:50 at nighttime. Let me see what else I can say. Oh, there goes the bus. There goes the bus. Those are one of the new ones. I think, yeah, those are one of the new ones. I think they're hybrids. Yeah. What else? Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. And I'm gonna try and be quick. I'm just checking out I'm pausing because I'm checking out the timer on my camera. I'm gonna try and be quick. When I was in grade 8, the class, the teacher took us on a skiing trip. And each child, like, of course, before we went, the teacher told us you can choose to go either downhill skiing or cross country. And at the time, guys, I had never skied before and I was too scared to try downhill skiing, so I chose to go for cross country skiing. Yeah. So, we got to the scene. I don't know where we were. I don't know what park. I don't know. I have no idea where we were, but it took us maybe between 45 minutes to an hour to get to this place. Somewhere, I don't know, it's outside of the city or something, because we're in Toronto, for you guys who don't know. And so anyway, there were all of us kids and, there, and some of the teachers that were there, and, everybody's doing their thing. Some of the kids went cross-country skiing, some of the kids went downhill skiing. And I was, just with some of the kids doing cross-country skiing. And then I was, at some point, I was by myself, and I ended up at the foot of a hill. And at the top, I could see my French teacher, and I could see some of my other school classmates, my classmates, right? There were around 3 other kids standing on the side of the French teacher. And so there I was at the bottom, right? And then the teacher said, Nancy, look out! So then I turned around really quickly. To see, oh no, what's that? What's happening? What's happening? And when I turned around, I didn't see anything. All I saw was snow, and there's forest all around us, and trees, and snow everywhere, and the hill in front of me. There was nothing beside me. I didn't see anybody coming. So then I looked back up at the teacher, just looking at him. Then the teacher said again, Nancy, look out! Again. I'm like, oh no, what? What's happening? What is it? So I turned around. I'm like, oh no, who's coming? Somebody's gonna hit me. They're gonna bump into me. And I'm looking from side to side frantically, looking everywhere, but nothing. There's nothing behind me. There was nothing behind me, nothing beside me, nothing on either side of me. Only nothing behind me. Nobody was coming. And the teacher and the other kids at the top. Then the teacher's like, Nancy, watch out. And I'm like, what? Oh, I'm so scared. What's happening? Somebody's going to come and bump into me. What is it? And again, I'm looking from side to side. Behind me, nothing. Nothing. I couldn't see anything, guys. And I was so scared. I'm like, what's the teacher talking about? I can't see anything. What am I supposed to do? Well, I can't see anything. What am I doing? And I'm panicking, right? But I'm like inside I was panicking, but I was calm, like physically calm. But in my mind, I'm like, what's he talking about? And then the teacher with his arm, he said, Nancy, look out, I'm coming down. Guys, it was so funny. And the other kids beside him, they were also with their arms like telling me, get out of the way, Nancy, move out. Yeah, get out of the way, he's coming down. And so, guys, I'm like, oh, okay. So then, guys, I had to move out of the way. And it was so funny, guys. I felt really bad for the teacher. This teacher was really cool. He was always a little bit, he was always mad. He wasn't mean, but he was always mad. So can you imagine how mad he was at me, trying to get me to move out of the way because he wanted to come down. He's like, Nancy, look out, I'm coming down. And the kids are like, yeah, Nancy, move out of the way, get out of the way. Guys, but I was so relieved by that time, because I was glad that nothing was going to bump into me, because the entire time I did not comprehend what the teacher meant by Nancy, get out of the way, move out of the way, get out of the way. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I don't know, guys. Hey, guys, will you let me know would you have gotten it? Would you have understood what the teacher was saying to you if they were telling you, hey, move out of the way, watch out? Well, they weren't saying move out of the way. They were saying, like the teacher was telling me, Nancy, look out. Nancy, watch out, right? So if the teacher was telling you, hey, watch out, look out. Like if they kept telling you that, what would you think? Would you have behaved, would you have reacted the way I did, where you would think there were people coming behind you trying to bump into you? Like, would you have behaved like that? Or would you have gotten it? Would you have understood that the teacher wanted for you to move out of the way because they wanted to come down? Would you have gotten it? And the thing is, the other kids were also waiting to come down because they were also, next to him. They were going to wait for him to go down, and then they were going to go down after him. So I was holding up everybody. So let me know, guys. I want to know, what would you have thought? Would you have reacted the way I did, where you thought the teacher was giving you a warning, or would you have understood what he was talking about, where he wanted you to move out of the way? Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Okay, and thank you so much for coming. Please don't forget to subscribe and then click on the bell, because by clicking on the bell, you will be notified for each time that I upload a video, okay? And thank you so much for coming. I love everybody. God bless you. Lo quiero todo mundo. I love everybody, okay? And thank you so much for supporting my channel, okay? Ciao, ciao.